As far as different jobs, as a youngster, selling shoes was one, shoveling snow was another, selling magazines on the corner. I sold newspapers, standing on the corner, selling them for 3 cents a newspaper. I don't know if you know anything about Fuller brushes, but it was a great product. And knock on the door and tell them that you're the Fuller brush man, and half of them said, "Oh, we don't need anything." And I said, "Yes, but I got a nice gift for you." You carried your satchel or your samples in a big bag, and the little brush, 10-cent brush that you gave away was on the bottom. So you had to get in there and had to open up and get everything out in front of the customer. "Oh, I need this, I need that." So that was a very good experience as far as learning how to sell.
Dad was always entrepreneurial. He took opportunities and looked at different businesses.
There was the health club, there was the window manufacturing business, there was a building and supply distribution business, Squire Jack's Fish and Chips business. Out of that came the hamburger business, but there was always the real estate business. So I'm not so sure which one was the hobby at the time.
I'm the oldest of the 5 siblings, and consequently I was the first to start working with Dad. Actually started sweeping out houses that Dad was building when I was 12 years old.
Whether it was at his window manufacturing facility, I remember as a kid spending time out there in the factory. I remember going and riding with him on Saturdays or Sundays to his apartment buildings when he used to visit the properties with the property managers. I just remember spending lots of time taking rides with Dad.
I loved every one of them. It was such a pleasure growing up and working with them. I was a youngster when I got married, and I had 5 kids before I was 30-some years old. Yeah, didn't know what was causing it. I don't know if you want to put that in it.
That goes in. That's in there.
Shortly after I started working with Dad and the company, Harold began working.
Harold was the outside guy, and Steve was the inside guy at the time. And then, of course, then Lewis came along, and then Ian came along a little later.
Each one of us had an area of the business that we were responsible for.
It was like having a 3-legged chair. And as long as everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing, that chair would stand. It was always about honesty. It was always about integrity. It was always about keeping your word.
And if we made a deal, we did the deal. If we made a good deal, that was great. If we made a not so good deal, you did the deal anyway, because your reputation and your word is above all. I was at a meeting with Dad with our lawyers, and the lawyers said that they needed a name for the company and for the plan. And so we sat there and Dad scribbled out.
It was the first initial of each of my 5 children.
Harold, Ian, Laurie, Lewis, and Steve. And that was really a lot of fun when he came up with that. He was so happy and so proud.
In the business, as the boys were coming in one at a time, we used to talk and things of that sort, and I said, "Don't be afraid to make a mistake." I says, "You're in here, you disagree with me, even disagree with me is okay. Don't be afraid of that."
Well, fortunately for all of us, we never felt like we worked for my dad. We always felt like we worked with him.
I think Dad was one of the pioneers in our city to develop condominiums.
When we first started building condominiums and apartments, we basically built one product.
We were targeting people who were renting apartments because we can sell them the condo and they can get a mortgage, and with their association fees and real estate taxes, it was less than what they were paying for an apartment. Hence our marketing little tagline became, "Why pay rent when you can own something?"
Those are the ones we ended up selling them for $39,900.
We added a den to our two-bedroom unit to have a two-bedroom and a den, which appealed to another segment of the market.
Then we took the same kind of building in units. I mean, we did an elevator building. You know, it was a specific site. There was more empty nesters. And so without the elevator, it made it more difficult to market and sell the third floor. Our product evolved over time.
We were working towards building up a portfolio of real estate that we could hold on to and manage and control the quality.
I grew up on construction sites at my dad's office. I always idolized my dad and my grandfather. They were heroes to me, his brothers too. These guys were living legends to me.
Every Saturday morning we'd get in his car, we'd go get a donut and a chocolate milk, and I would drive out to the job sites with them and just kind of hang out and play in the dirt and take the grade stakes out and pretend they were swords, and always finding ways to get into a little bit of mischief.
I've always known that I wanted to work for the family business, and it's just always been something that's right at the forefront of kind of our family culture.
We work really well together, and we all recognize each other's strengths. Each of us has a passion for each part of what we do within the company, but also the overall success.
We are very aligned in our goals and all kind of want to achieve the same thing, and are all really motivated and like the business and like the people and like the opportunity that we have.
It makes me feel very good and very proud to see that our next generation is coming into the business and carries the same values and the same concern for customers and employees that my dad instilled in all of us.
The focus now is our rental communities. On the residential side, that's where we've seen our growth in the last 7 years or so.
We've gotten into some more complicated, higher density products that is new for the third generation, like 4900.
We're a different animal in this space in that we find the ground, we entitle it, we build our communities, we manage our communities, and we hold them long term. It's a get-rich-slow business.
When I joined the company, as I did my research, it became very apparent that Hills has what I would consider to be one of the strongest portfolios of multifamily investment properties in the Midwest. The location, the quality of construction, the type of product that they've built, it's exceptional. I mean, I think you look around and see, and it's very impressive. So it was very attractive for me to take a serious look at joining the firm because of that portfolio.
We want to grow the business. We want all of our associates to grow with us.
You can't do it without hiring good people. We've had people with us for 25, 30 years on it, and they're very loyal, and they worried for us.
Working with customers, it's, I know that I can find the win-win in the situation, and I'm supported on both ends of that. And I know my company wants me to do the right thing for our residents, for our customers, for our vendors, for everyone.
But I've seen this company grow from 3 to over 300 people, and it's really changed over those 37 years I've been here to an outstanding company.
The one thing that I think has held us together throughout the years has been my grandfather. He's been the guiding light that kind of set the train down the right path with the second generation, and is still there kind of in the shadows, making sure that the third generation continues down the right track.